again with another journal page, this time working in my whimsy journal, my whimsy houses, and I've applied some Liquitex Gesso, and now I'm just adding some reds and orange and yellows to the background. All the products that I've used are listed on my blog, and there's a link below this video that will take you to that. So really all I'm doing is creating a background to work with for my focal image. And this is a very quick page today. Well, it'd have been quick without the embossing that I did. But anyway, some white gesso to lift that background over the tile texture stencil. And here I'm just drawing the house, just on some plain old copy paper, just to get an idea as to what I'm doing here and the shape of it. So I'll end up cutting this out and using it as a mask and tracing around it. So I still don't trust myself to do it directly on the page. One of these days I'll get some courage up and draw the focal image directly onto the journal page. So I start out using my craft knife to cut out the house and then finished off with some scissors. So I'm just tracing around that house image with, I think, what is it? A Stabilo All pencil. So now going around all that with a black Tombow Monotwin pen. This has got two ends to the pen, a brush type end and a fine point. So now I'm going in with the Sharpie pen. And it didn't work, so I go through a few different types of pens. Usually Sharpie, the PITT Artist, the Tombow Monotwin, and Posca. Oh, maybe I didn't use the Posca today. I colour that in now, but I end up painting over it. I think the white Posca pen wasn't as bright as I needed, so I decide now just to paint, just with some acrylic paint. And I give it a few coats. Yeah, I left that little area inside there, but then decided it needed to be painted. And I'm just being a bit rough now. I end up going over it all with the marker anyway. So that's a white extra fine point Sharpie pen, because there's no way I would have got the white paint inside that chimney. So every now and again I'm wiping off on a piece of clean paper the pens just to keep them flowing, stop them from clogging up. And this is a PITT Artist brush pen. They always work, but sometimes you don't want the thickness that the brush gives. So really all it is now is doodling. So filling in the designs on that building. Sorry, out of shot. I zoomed in so you could see the pattern, but forgot that you probably couldn't see it and I move it around. So anyway, I'll be back when I do something more interesting. Okay, so this little area was a real pain because when I drew it and added the white paint, I forgot that I needed it just to get that variation, the breakup between the black and the white. So in the end it ended up turning out a greyish colour, but I can go over it later and make it more white or not. It is what it is. So now I thought it needed something else. And so I'm adding some rays, if you like. So I'm using Tim Holtz's rays layering stencil, applying some VersaMark embossing, clear embossing ink, and then pouring over some Queen's Gold embossing powder, and then heat setting that. Now because the stencil didn't go the length of the page, I'm now going to mask off areas and add some more embossing ink, but using an Emboss-it pen instead. I didn't mask it off, I just used the embossing pen. So this was sort of a fiddly bit, or fiddly process, but I think it needed it. Yeah, I lost the lid to the Emboss-it pen then. So what I do to one side, I do to the other. So I'll be back when that's done. So almost done. So a very simple page today, but I like the effect that it's given, and the colours of the background I think helped with that gold embossing. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll be back next week with another page. Bye.